All right, welcome to section 5.1. We're going to add and subtract polynomials. We're going to combine like terms and use the distributive property. Given the polynomial, identify the coefficients and the degree of each term in 3x cubed minus 4x squared minus x plus 3 minus 4x to the fourth. Write the polynomial in descending order with respect to its exponents. This is common practice. So we'll scan our polynomial. We have an x to the third. Looking for anything bigger. Yes, we have an x to the fourth. So take the sign in front of the term and write it first. Then the next biggest power. This is 3x to the third. Since it's positive, we're going to put a plus. Then the minus 4x squared minus x plus 3. Once you put these things in descending order, it's really going to help when we combine like terms. To combine like terms, you have to have the x variables have to be the same along with their powers. So if we have their powers in descending order, we can line them up and add and subtract whatever we got to do with our terms. Okay, so my first term, it is a degree of 4. That's the power. Its coefficient, the number multiplied to the x, is negative 4. The second term, it's a degree of 3. Its coefficient is that positive 3. Third term has a degree of 2, a coefficient of negative 4. Fourth term has a degree of 1. Just because there's no power there, we can put a 1 there. And same thing with being in the front. Its coefficient is negative 1. The fifth term is a degree of 0. Its coefficient is 3. Seeing that there is no x to a power, we call it a degree of 0. What is the leading coefficient? What is the degree of the leading term? What is the degree of the polynomial? All that comes from this first term. What is the leading coefficient on the leading term? Negative 4. What is the degree of the leading term? 4. What is the degree of the polynomial? 4. Whichever x has the biggest power is going to be the degree of the whole polynomial. So if we look at adding two binomials here, we have 4x to the 7th plus 18x to the 5th plus negative 7x to the 5th minus 7x to the 7th. Now, theoretically, because you're adding, you don't need the parentheses. They're just using these parentheses to declare this a polynomial and this is a polynomial. So since it's a plus, we're going to line up our like terms. So I have x to the 7th power. I go over here, find an x to the 7th power. Take the minus 7 with it and line it up underneath the 4x to the 7th. Do the same thing with a minus 7x to the 5th. Line it up under the 18x to the 5th. Combine like terms, we're going to get negative 3x to the 7th and 18 minus 7 plus 11x to the 5th. Number 3, we'll do the same thing. Over here, though, we do not have an s to the 8th in the first binomial. So I'm going to take this term, because it's got the biggest power, I'm going to put it over here to the left. I do have an s squared with this s squared, so I'm going to line up the minus 22s squared under the 19, and no one's going to be under the 7s. So we combine them together. The only terms that are going to be combined is the s squareds. The s to the 8th and s to the 1st, they're going to drop in your answer. So negative 9s to the 8th. Let's see, 19 minus 22 is minus 3s squared. Bring down the plus 7s. Number 4, same thing. I have a 16x to the 4th minus 13x to the 7th. I have a plus 13x to the 7th and a minus 9x to the 4th. Okay, take the minus 9x to the 4th, line it up underneath the 16x to the 4th. Take the positive 13x to the 7th, line it up under, whoops. These two are going to cancel out. They add up to be 0, so 16 minus 9 is 7. 7x to the 4th is your only term. Number 5, put an asterisk by this special case. Now you need the parentheses. This is where that distributive property comes in. You are subtracting this whole polynomial. So this minus sign has to be distributed to every term. So a negative or 4a squared now becomes minus 4a squared. The plus a now becomes minus 1a. The minus 3 now becomes plus 3. This minus makes you change all the signs in the parentheses. So we'll combine them together. 5 minus 4 is going to be 1a squared. Minus 7 minus 1 is minus 8a a. 1 plus 3 is plus 4. So again, make a special note. Circle the minus sign, draw arrows. It is a great reminder. Number 6, adding polynomials again. We'll do the same thing. If it's a plus, we'll just take our like terms, line them up underneath, add them together. 4 plus 8, 12. X squared, that doesn't change. Negative 3 minus 4, minus 7. Keep the x. Minus 8, minus 8, minus 16. Over here, doesn't matter if they put in more terms. You just line them all up. It's a plus. Just move them and line them underneath. 5 plus 6, 11x cubed. Negative 8 plus 9, 1, x squared. And it's a plus 1. 6 plus 2 is a positive 8. Bring down the x. 2 minus 8 is negative 6. Number 8, hold the phone. We got a minus sign again. Change all the signs. That negative 4x to the 5th now becomes plus 4x to the 5th. The minus 1x squared now becomes plus 1x squared. The minus 2 now becomes a plus 2. I have no other constant to line it up, so I'm going to kind of move it off to the right. We'll combine like terms. We'll have 12x to the 5th plus 5x squared. Bring down the minus 2x. Drop down to plus 2. Number 9, adding the two polynomials. It's a plus sign. Line everybody up. Minus 10x to the 4th plus 5x cubed. Plus 4 doesn't match with the 1x, so we're going to bump it over to the right a little bit. Combine our like terms. We're going to get negative 20x to the 4th, 4 plus 5, plus 9x to the 3rd, drop down to 1 plus 1x, drop down to plus 4. Number 10 and 11. This is another technique that you can use in case your polynomials start to get larger. If it's a plus sign, then all you do is start at the far left side. Look for your first term, and this is the benefit of having everything in descending order. Your largest term by degree should be the first leading off your polynomials. There's no other x to the 5th. Put the 3x to the 5th in your answer. Cross it off. Now box all x to the 4th terms. Combine them. Negative 6 minus 8 minus 14x to the 4th. Cross them out. Now look for all x cubes. Minus 9x cubed is the only one you have. Put it in your answer. Cross it out. Look for an x squared right there. Plus 2x squared. Put it in your answer. Cross it off. 8x minus 12x minus 4x. Cross them off. Minus 6. Just drop it in your answer if it's the last one. Subtraction, again, this minus sign has to go through and change all the signs. So negative 2x to the 5th becomes positive. Plus 7x to the 4th becomes minus. Plus 9x squared becomes minus 9x squared. Minus 7x becomes plus 7x. Cross this all out. You don't need it anymore. Look for your x to the 5ths. We have 2 of them. That's negative 6x to the 5th. Cross them out. Find your x to the 4ths. We have 2 of them. Negative 3 minus 7 is negative 10x to the 4th. Cross them out. We only have one x cubed, so minus 4x cubed. Cross it out. Only one. Whoops, we just have one of everything. Minus 9x squared plus 7x minus 5. We'll just bring it all, bring it all down, and we're done. All right, 12 and 13, try these on your own. So go ahead and pause the video. And when you come back, we'll go over the answers. All right, welcome back. You should have for this one, negative 7x to the 4th plus 7x cubed plus 11x squared plus 12x plus 5. For 13, you should have negative 12x to the 4th minus 7x cubed plus 8x plus 3. Again, looking for your largest power first. And then writing them in descending order and combine them. All right, and 14. In Northern Europe country, the formula y equals 0.034x squared minus 2.6x plus 62.57 models the number of deaths per year per 1,000 people for y. So that means when we find our y value, you must multiply it by 1,000. For people who are X years old, between 40 to 60 years old, approximately how many people per 1,000 who are 53 years old die each year? For this purpose of this problem, please round your answer to a whole number. All right, so we're going to take 53, put it in for our x, Let the calculator crunch it out. So by showing me the substitution, that's your calculator entry. Let the calculator do all the work, and we got 20.276. Now remember, the y has to be multiplied per 1,000. So taking that 20.276, multiplying by 1,000, will be 20,276 people. 15, our formula here, y equals negative 0.77x to the fourth plus 2.8x to the third plus 27.2 describes the billions of flu virus particles in a person's body X days after being infected. Find the number of virus particles in billions after 3 days. So X is going to be 3. Again, show the substitution in your paper, and then let the calculator crunch the numbers. So type in your calculator negative 0.77 times left parentheses 3, close parentheses raised to the fourth power. Just as you see it here, you type it in your calculator. It comes out to be 40.43 billions of flu viruses. 16, we're going to let f of x equal 3x plus 2, g of x equals 2x squared plus 2x. Find f plus g of x. This notation should be separated. To f of x plus g of x. Once you do that, then we can substitute 3x plus 2 in for f of x. You can see that's in blue. G of x, I'll replace that with 2x squared plus 2x. And now it's a combining of like terms. There's only one x squared term, so 2x squared. 3x plus 2x is 5x plus 2. 17, f of x is x squared plus 5. G of x is x cubed plus 3x squared minus 5x plus 6. Find h of x if h of x is equal to f of x. Okay, that'll be x squared plus 5 plus g of x, which is the x cubed plus 3x squared minus 5x plus 6. All right, combine like terms. X to the third, x squared plus 3x squared is 4x squared. Bring down to minus 5x, 5 plus 6, 11. 18, again, this is why you want parentheses, because now they bring in the minus sign. X squared plus 8 is f of x. G of x is 8x cubed plus 7x squared plus 2x minus 3. Now they want to subtract the two functions, so this minus sign is going to go in and change all the signs. So my positive x cubed becomes a negative x cubed, or minus. The plus 7x squared is minus. The plus 2x is minus. The minus 3 is plus. Add them together. A minus or negative x cubed. 1x squared minus 7x squared is minus 6x squared. Bring down the minus 2x, and 8 plus 3 is 11. 19, find the perimeter of the triangle. Okay, the perimeter is the distance around the object, so we're going to add those three binomials together. So our perimeter is going to be the 2x squared plus 7, the negative x squared plus 6x, and the 9x plus 6. Combine like terms. 2x squared plus minus x squared is x squared, plus 6x plus 9x, that's plus 15x, 7 plus 6 is 13. And this is my answer that I'm going to put up for the perimeter in inches. And put parentheses around the whole thing. That's the best way to evaluate it. Number 20, again, we have f of x is 6x minus 2. G of x is 9x squared plus 3x plus 8. Determine each of the following. So for here, now we're going to actually plug in values. So for the f of x, 6x minus 2, you're going to put a 10 into the x of the f function. That's the 10 right there. For the g function, you're going to put 13 into both x's. And then we're going to evaluate this. And again, use your calculator. Left parentheses. Don't use brackets, use parentheses. 6 times 10 minus 2, close the parentheses, plus, open the parentheses, 9 times 13 squared, plus 3 times 13, plus 8, close the parentheses, 1,626 is your answer. B, f of 15, now you put 15 in for the x, and minus g of 7, you put 7 into those two x's. So again, your calculator entry, left parentheses, 6 times 15 minus 2 parentheses, minus left parentheses, 9 times 7 squared plus 3 times 7 plus 8, close them up, a negative 382. Part C, find f of x plus g of x. Okay, we're going to add those two together. Combine like terms, we're going to get a 9x squared. 6x plus 3x is 9x, minus 2 plus 8 plus 6. F of x minus g of x. Make sure you change the signs on the g function. They all go to plus signs to minus signs. Combine it together, we're going to get negative 9x squared plus 3x minus 10. And last, we have g of x is now first. Be careful, make sure you put that one first, minus f of x. So now we change the 6x to a minus 6x and the minus 2 to a plus 2. Combine them together, 9x squared minus 3x plus a 10. And that will wrap up section 5.1.